Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is the Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with the first installment of Marvelous May. As stated a while back, every video aside from weekly TV roundups this month will be focusing on Marvel, comic books, movies, TV shows, whatever. We're going to kick things off with a review, a spoiler-free review, no less, of the Avengers Age of Ultron, which I had the pleasure of going to see a couple nights ago. First off, what was good in the movie? The new characters were good, for one thing. Ultron, voiced by James Spader, and played pretty much by CGI. First off, he delivers an excellent degree of menace to the movie. He's no Loki, but he's a different kind of villain, which is quite cool. Also, it's really neat to have the primary villain be more linked to a different Avenger. In this case, Iron Man, Tony Stark, and to a degree Bruce Banner, the Science Bros. As opposed to how Loki and Thor were linked. James Spader's voice, and as well as the dialogue itself, actually kind of makes Ultron come off as something of a dark mirror of Iron Man. The way he delivers quips, such as offering to reveal his evil plan to Tony in a very obviously sarcastic manner, and it's a robot who has, to a degree, emotions, and it's really fun to watch, or at least fun to listen to. And speaking of Ultron's evil plan, it's actually fairly comic accurate, which was kind of a surprise. Ultron's plan, usually in the comics, is wipe out all life on Earth. There's some slight changes, but more like the why he wants to. But that's pretty much the gist of it. He's a genocidal robot, right? Moving on to Vision, played by Paul Bettany. First off, Paul Bettany has been voicing Tony Stark's artificial intelligence butler, Jarvis, since the first Iron Man movie, and has actually been doing quite well with it. Now, though they are played by the same actor, and I was going to say there is a link between Jarvis and Vision. Vision actually truly comes off as being a separate character. Part of it is the fact that Vision has a physical form, but like I said, they're separate. There is a difference that is very obvious. Once again, a surprisingly, for the most part, comic accurate origin. Then moving on to Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, known for playing Kick-Ass in Kick-Ass 1 and 2, and Elizabeth Olsen, who the only movie I can think of that she's been in, that I know she's been in, was last year's Godzilla, where she played the wife of Aaron Taylor Johnson's character. With all the changes that had to be made to the characters for them to actually work and fit into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and be used in a Marvel movie, Marvel Studios movie, they were actually fairly well integrated into the mythos of the whole thing. As some of you may know, the characters are, classically speaking, the children of Magneto. Obviously, they couldn't work that in, but how they did work it fits. It makes sense. The two have great chemistry as well. You actually can easily buy them as being brother and sister, and in fact, Quicksilver being the overprotective brother. Also, unlike some iterations of their comic relationship, it is totally not creepy. Thankfully. I was really afraid we were going to get some cringe moments with them. Also, each one gets some amusing moments. Quicksilver's speed fighting first the Avengers and later Ultron. That's so cool to see. It's different from the whole time in a bottle scene, but it's still cool. Then for Scarlet Witch, you've got her, her little bit with, mind whammy-ing the Avengers. That was actually pretty neat. Now, you get the returning characters, who are actually, with our 6 mains, they're actually became really well fleshed out, especially one that hasn't had much development, mainly because said character doesn't have a franchise of their own. Of course, excellent interactions. There was, and of course, the return of some supporting characters as well, in the forms of both War Machine and Falcon. Plot. The plot move basically the down moments move between action scenes well with just enough time for us to catch our breaths. There's also some, of course, Joss Whedon's trademark wit throughout, both in the more down moments and the action scenes both. The hammer scene, or the hammer gag, I should say, is actually kind of revisited later. You don't just have that one scene with the Avengers each of the Avengers trying to lift Mjolnir and, not. Now, the action scenes themselves. Actually, before I get to the action scenes, like I mentioned, the interaction between the characters, both old and new. This is actually something that Joss Whedon is really good with, is characters. You give him a group of characters to work with, and he's going to give you gold. That's part of why so many people love Firefly, so many people love Buffy, so many people love Angel, is because he took these groups of characters and made them and had them work together so really well. And it all, you can easily imagine by these people as being a group of people who go out and kick ass and take names for the sake of good. The joining of Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver, it works. They all work. And it's kind of like, okay, all right, you're part of the team now. Let's do this. And you get some great moments, like Hawkeye giving Scarlet Witch a pep talk. And just little things like that just really... they make the movie more than just a popcorn flick, basically, in my opinion. Moving on to the action scenes, which, do make a popcorn flick. When an action scene starts, it does not let up until it's done. A prime example is the Hulkbuster sequence, which has been shown in trailers from the get-go, or at least bits and parts of it have been shown. That just... once it starts, it doesn't stop until it's over. And it feels right to do that, to be that way. It doesn't feel just crammed in. It's like, okay, well, we've been building to something, now let's build to something big. And I think that's like halfway at most through the movie. Now the bad. The whole Black Widow Hulk thing, it really just seems forced. It's the kind of thing that if we were given another movie before this with the two characters, maybe it wouldn't feel that way. But it just doesn't. I buy them as teammates. I don't buy them as anything more than... well, I buy them as teammates. I buy them as friends. But that's all. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, yeah, they were well. They're the backstory we were given for them is it works with everything, but I still feel they could have been more. They could have been better developed, and I hope that I honestly hope that future movies with the characters actually do develop them more. I mentioned Falcon and War Machine coming back, and while War Machine actually was pretty had a fairly big part kind of in the movie, Falcon shows up twice basically, 2 scenes, and I would have liked to have seen more of Falcon, especially if it was the way we saw more of War Machine basically. Another issue is that the plot does kind of share some similarities with the original, not just because of the characters, but the main bad guy having an army that he throws at the team. Also, those slow motion team shots. Hey, one in Avengers was really cool, but we get like 3 or 4 in this one. It's just like it was like use of bullet time in Matrix sequels. Just like, oh, bullet time, woo. Then there's the this is just one thing. Thor's knowledge of the Infinity Gem from Guardians doesn't feel right. That's not a spoilery thing. That's just one of those. It's a little thing, and it's just kind of. The verdict. All in all, this was a damn good movie, and faults and all, and I think it was worth the ticket price at least once over. I will probably see it again at least once because I liked it that much, really. Now I am currently considering whether or not to do a more in-depth, spoiler-filled review as well. If one does happen, it'll be the next few days. It'll be before Wednesday. Anyway, that's all I got for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Links to Facebook and Twitter pages are in the description down below. And as always, live long and rock hard.